Welcome to Talk This.
It's dangerous to podcast alone.
I'm one of your hosts, Madelyn.
I'm your other host, Emma.
I'm actually your Talk This host, and Emma is your It's Dangerous to Podcast Alone host.
Yeah, pretty much.
We never shake it up.
No, we never shake it up. What if we did 1 week? What if we introduced ourselves oppositely for 1 week and just left it like that?
Probably no one would notice.
Probably. Our voices are not that different, I don't think, so.
I don't know. I don't listen to the podcast enough to tell.
Yeah, well, I listen to it too much, so I can always tell.
Well, thank you for tuning in, listeners, to this side quest episode of Talk This. Madelyn is jet-lagged edition.
Mm-hmm.
It is 2 in the morning.
Yep. So actually, it is 8 p.m. Eastern Time. No, it's 12 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday.
I screwed up. I revealed our secret.
Oh no! What will we do?
Anyway, on these side quests, in addition to getting behind-the-scenes access to what time we actually record these things, you'll hear about what we've been playing the past 2 weeks. You'll hear our weather report, which is different from our question of the fortnight, although they are both questions that we answer fortnightly.
Yep.
You'll take a trip to our off-topic corner, and you'll get our traffic report, which is not about vehicles or public transit, despite the, the debates happening about public transit in New York City this week. But is actually about traffic on our website. And not even literally about traffic on our website, but about what's been going on our social media channels. Yeah. So it's kind of a grab bag format, although always a fixed grab bag, so not much of a grab bag at all. I'm doing a good job explaining it this week, aren't I?
Mm-hmm. Good job.
I said, at 2 a.m. or 6 p.m. Sunday. Yeah, it would be kind of silly for me to still be jet-lagged because it's Sunday.
Yeah, Madelyn, jeez. Get back on schedule already.
What a dummy. But let's jump in to what, on my side at least, will be a very brief, what have you been playing these past 2 weeks? Emma, what have you been playing?
Well, it's mostly just been more Octopath, although I've reached a point where I think I'm going to have to grind a little bit, which is, like, really not tempting. But I've been continuing to make my way through that. I'm about more than halfway through the Chapter 3s now, which just leaves that, and then all the Chapter 4s. And, yeah, it's a thing. It's happening. Save it for the traffic report, but I finally got my blog up on it. Even though I'm 45 hours in now, it's on the first 15 hours. So, but yeah, so I've been playing that, and I have been ranting enough about it on this podcast, so I will just leave it alone for now. I played some comfort food, Kingdom Hearts 2, the past few days as I've been settling into the dorm, and it was like 95 degrees in Boston for a couple of days, so I stayed inside all day and had to find something to do that was not Octopath Traveler. I suppose I could have, like, read a book or something, but who does that? I mean, right?
This is not a reading podcast.
And that's pretty much it. I mean, I've been doing a lot of packing and unpacking, so that did not leave a lot of time for gaming.
That's like real-life Tetris, though.
Yeah, true. Real-life Tetris is pretty much what I've been doing. Madelyn got me a Gamefly account for my birthday, which is like a Netflix rental for video games, and I ordered Blue Reflection. That's supposed to be coming in the mail. So
hopefully
look forward
it's
to
already
hearing about
arrived.
that. Yeah.
That might be optimistic, but you never know.
Yeah. They shipped it on Wednesday, I think. So.
Yeah, so maybe, I don't know. It's possible. Depends on where they're shipping it from, I guess.
Well, I've gotten packages apparently, but I have not gotten mail notifications about getting packages, which usually means it's been like processed and is ready for you to pick up. So I'm gonna have to call. I will have called ResMail. I've already done so to see if it's just like slow because of move-in or whatever, or if I've lost them forever. So in that case, I hope it takes a longer time to get here, because maybe I've ordered stuff too early. I don't know.
Wow, that was riveting.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm back in college. I should like a flashback to getting to trying to go pick up packages, and they were like, "We're logging packages. You can't pick them up now." It's like I just got a notification that it was delivered. Now we're logging packages. You can't pick it up now.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. I mean, I have really enjoyed that call, I can tell you. It was a splendid call to ResMail services, I'm sure.
Well, as fascinating as Emma's gaming 2 weeks has been, I have even less to report on. So, as I'll discuss in Off Topic Corner, and as I already have talked about on various blogs and on, I think, podcasts, I don't really remember, I have been on vacation for most of these past 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So, did not play too many video games, believe it or not.
I don't believe it.
Yeah. So, I went to Rome, which I've talked about in many places now. So if you didn't already know that, welcome. We're glad to have you here. Yeah, so I did a lot of running around Rome and not a lot of gaming. Although I didn't realize that there are in the in-flight entertainment system, there are gaming options. There are movies and there is TV shows and stuff, and there are also games.
What sort of games?
Nothing too crazy. There's chess, and there's Tetris, and there's some kind of Bejeweled type thing. I don't really remember. I was thinking about, because on my flight over, it was an overnight flight, and I was trying not to look at screens too much, so I could sleep at least a little, right? So I didn't take advantage of the in-flight entertainment on my flight over, because I was just trying to sleep. But I was thinking, on the way back, maybe I'll play some. Wouldn't that be a funny kind of, talk this, 8 thoughts in 8 hours on my flight from, London to New York. But on my flight home, there was no in-flight entertainment.
Oh, really?
They couldn't get it working.
Oh, that sucks.
They rebooted it 20 times. It made it much worse, because at the beginning, at least the map was working, but then they ruined the map.
Not the map. We could have stared at the map for entertainment for hours.
Well, it's something at least. And if you're like me and you get nervous that your plane is going to go down sometimes, it's nice to get to look at it and see that you're going up. So, yeah. And the flight attendant, not the flight, she was the customer care representative or whatever, who came over the intercom, was like, I'm going to send a very sternly worded, because it was British Airways, a sternly worded, note to British Airways, letting them know about the inconvenience this has caused.
How British.
I know. It's okay. It's can I get a flight voucher? Can you bump me to first class? Anyway, so that didn't happen. The only video games that I have significantly played I played about an hour on the plane of Reigns Her Majesty. From way back, because also it's I was gonna just play 8 hours of Civilization, but there were no outlets, so I couldn't charge my computer.
Ugh.
So I only had about an hour of gaming time, and the only game that was low stakes enough that my computer could die in the middle of it was Reigns. Although they have added some new cards since I last played.
Oh, really?
There was no Philosopher before.
Maybe you just never got him.
No. It was brand new. And there was a vampire.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there was new stuff going on, which was exciting. It was just enough to keep it spicy.
Yeah. They're making a Game of Thrones Reigns.
I heard about that also. That seems solid. That I agree with that choice of partnership.
Yeah.
I think that this would be a good kind of Game of Thrones style. I mean, it's already basically Game of Thrones, right? So, why not throw the characters in? Although it would make me sort of feel like, I don't know, there are certain characters that I would just, like, want to piss off, and really the goal of being good at Reigns is not getting too interested in any one thread or any character or getting invested in anything, and just purely playing the system.
Yeah.
But I'm not very good at that.
Well, apparently, like, the way it works is, like, there's, like, different characters that can sit on the Iron Throne, and they each have, like, their own benefits. Like, the example in the article I was reading was, like, Tyrion can never get in trouble with the bank, for instance. So you can have your coffers emptied the entire time and not have to worry about it. And I assume that each of the other characters also has their own, like, protection from certain things, which might encourage you to, like, you know, move people around. And it's just like a little preview, so clearly I don't actually know how it works, but that might keep you system driven.
I'm intrigued. Probably not enough to buy the game, because I'm not, like, crazy into Game of Thrones or anything.
Yeah.
But I'm intrigued. But yeah, that's pretty much all of the gaming that I have done. I'm looking forward to getting back into my console stuff over this Labor Day weekend. And have probably already done so, but I'm not going to tell you about it.
Oh, you know, this doesn't really count as playing, but I did watch the 48 minutes of Cyberpunk 2077 gameplay. I had it on in the background while I was doing other things.
Nice.
Looks cyberpunky.
That would be what I would expect.
Yeah, it was like the gameplay they showed off at E3, so I also had, like, the narrator, like, saying what was happening and what people were doing. They have, like, we talked about this a while ago, like, you know, fictional cities, and this is definitely a very fully realized fictional city. They, like, walked around a little bit within, like, the mobs of people, which was pretty cool. They have, like, ridiculous character customization, so you can look forward to that. I feel like if I bought the game, I would just, like, spend about 3 hours with character customizations and then play the game, like, for an hour and then never pick it up again.
Wow, what a stereotypical female gamer.
I know.
You're doing us proud, Em.
Uh-huh.
I did, also, to close this, I did watch the KK Slider cover of Africa. Have you seen that yet?
No, what is that?
Somebody made a cover of Africa by Toto as if it was sung by KK Slider.
Oh my gosh.
From Animal Crossing.
That's something.
It is pretty disturbing.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that's been this week's What Are We Playing? Or What Are We Not Playing in this case.
Yeah, pretty much.
We'll be back at it.
Don't play this.
Yeah. Which brings us to the weather report. You've already gotten the report that the weather in Boston and in New York is toasty warm.
Yep.
But we'll be asking this week a different kind of weather. And it's an appropriate one given that we haven't been gaming too much in this past 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
So Emma, you're going back to school. Madelyn, you never really have enough time for the amount of video games that you play. So will you... I'm trying to get it back to weather phrasing, and I kind of backed myself into an off-topic corner here. Ask yourself, Emma, and also Madelyn, myself, whether or not you think you will finish all of the games that you are currently playing.
How far back do we go? Does it count all the games that I abandoned about a year or two ago?
You can set the statute of limitations, probably a year or two. Like, you probably should have at least played them within the last year.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So, I don't know. I'm playing a lot of games. So, I want to believe that I will eventually finish them all. But there are some... Okay, so... there are some games that I'm playing currently that I wonder what it is to finish them. Right? Mm-hmm. So, like, the big one that I'm thinking of is Breath of the Wild. I have watched Clickbait Boyfriend, and not literally watched, because we've insisted on playing it separately so we don't spoil each other. But I have metaphorically watched Clickbait Boyfriend sink probably over 100 hours. Easily over 100 hours into this game. He is trying to find all of the shrines. He's like 5 away. And to see that level of achievement occurring in my apartment has made me feel disheartened about ever scaling those heights. It's just like, it's so open, there's so much to do. Little checklist Madelyn is feeling overwhelmed. And it's gonna be a slog to finish the game, because there's so much to explore, and I just like to wander around, and I don't like to look at the map. And, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now when I play it in front of Josh, it drives him nuts, because he'll be like, you were going that way, where are you going now?
It drove me nuts to watch you.
That's true, I forgot that I played it in front of you, too. Yeah. So, at that one, I think I will kind of eventually finish it, but it may take me, 5 years. I also have started, I'd like to get into Skyrim. I've started Skyrim, but I'm frustrated by it because I'm not very good at it, and long time or even short time Talk This listeners will know that when I'm not good at something, I don't do it. And I'm also playing, I'm enjoying Assassin's Creed. When I started Assassin's Creed felt like Skyrim, but easier. So, well, not easier. Oh, I don't want to just say it's easier, but I'm better at it. Not to say I like my games easy, just that I'm better at it.
Oh, no.
So, I will probably, I just have too many, I've started too many games. I'm in too deep. I have to play Persona 2. But I haven't been motivated because I'm stuck in this, horrible dungeon.
It's called online walkthroughs.
That's cheating!
It's not cheating.
I know. I'm gonna have to resort to it. And then there's, Fire Emblem, and, what does it even mean to finish that game? I finished the stories, but there seem to be never-ending side content. And I have to finish Overcooked, but it might destroy my relationship. And there's just so many games. So, what I'm saying is, the good person in me is you will finish them all, but the realistic person is it might take you a decade.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. Currently, my current life right now is a waiting game of the games I pre-ordered to come. So I pre-ordered Valkyria Chronicles 4, so I kind of want to finish Valkyria Chronicles before I get that. That comes at the end of September. I have to play more Final Fantasy 15 just for the series that I'm doing eventually on YouTube. Like I said, I'm still playing Octopath Traveler, and I feel like I should finish it. I mean, I played 50 hours of it, so I don't feel like I'm getting gypped for my buck if I don't finish it, but at the same time, I should finish it. I just frustrated by the current boss I'm on, and okay, so I took a bad party for it, I think. But if I want to change the party, I have to warp all the way back to a city and then walk all the way back to the end of this dungeon, which sounds awful, and I don't want to do it. So I have to keep this party, which means I just probably need to walk around in circles, right before the boss, and just fight a bunch of enemies, and that sounds awful. But I'm sure I will eventually get back in the mood for more Octopath. And I still have the new God of War that I haven't started at all.
Why?
That I want to play. And I have a bunch of games, actually, that I feel like I should get back to. But once I get Valkyria Chronicles 4, then it's just another, 3 weeks before The World Ends With You Final Remix comes out, because why play new games when you can play The World Ends With You Final Remix, huh?
Why do they call everything remix?
Well, in this case, it's because of the noise, I think.
No, it's not.
It has, a music theme.
I know that, but that's a lie. There's nothing musical. Unless you count stupid Kingdom Hearts 2 Atlantica. There's nothing musical about Kingdom Hearts, and it was still remixed.
What do you mean, an ice cream shooter game?
Oh, you're right, I forgot.
I mean, I don't know, it's a Japanese thing, I guess, to do remix instead of remaster, or it's saying, it's the original stuff redone plus new content, so it's remixed.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's just a weird
Plus,
thing.
it's cooler sounding, honestly.
I suppose.
Would you rather play Kingdom Hearts Remastered or Kingdom Hearts Final Remix?
Okay, but here's the thing, though. Now that we're back from this vacation, Clickbait Boyfriend has been asking me, like, every day about getting a PS4.
I have games to send you if you get a PS4.
I know. He listens to this. Don't say that.
Nier Automata. You both should play Nier Automata.
Yeah, okay, I know that. Don't encourage him.
Nier Automata.
We have to wait until Black Friday. It'll be cheap at Black Friday.
I can send you like Horizon Zero Dawn. I like
already
Zelda
have so many games that I'm playing, Emma. I can't. There's no room. The winter is coming. All of my game. That was a Game of Thrones thing. That was not a tie back on purpose. But all of my systems and my television sit on top of my radiator. There'll be another winter where I can't turn on my radiator because there are now 3 consoles. I'm afraid of melting.
Well, you know, the price of fun.
It was fine. It was only really bad that one cold snap. I like it chilly. Anyway, on that weather note, that's been the weather report.
Yep.
And now, come on over. We're going to sit on down in the off-topic corner. As if all of Talk This doesn't live in one big off-topic corner.
Yeah, have we really been talking about video games this entire time?
I don't even know. It's so late. I'm so tired, Emma. Speaking of which, Madeline, why are you so tired? Why, it's because I just spent a delightful 6 days with flights on either side in sunny Rome. Not Rome, Georgia, as my phone weather thing would always try to correct me to when I would Google Rome weather.
It's like you're not in Italy. You're not rich enough to be in Italy.
Well, not literally when I was in Rome. Then it knew. But when I was trying to plan ahead and see what the weather was going to look like, I would be looking at Rome, Georgia, which is not the same weather.
And your phone would be like, yeah, right, I'm not the latest iPhone model. You're not going on vacation.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, my phone is pretty old, too. Yeah, so Rome, folks who are thinking about going, is lovely. I recommend it. Did you know that all of the Romans leave the city in August? I did, but I sort of didn't believe it until I got there.
Was it really just like a ghost town with tourists?
Kind of. So we would stay out pretty late because Clickbait Boyfriend and I, when we are not just literal hermits playing video games for 8 hours at a stretch, like to walk around and explore a lot. So we walked 15 miles some days, according to his phone, which seems crazy, but I think is probably pretty accurate. But we'd be walking home at night, and it's most of the nights we kind of walk back home through what is kind of the touristy district.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no one there. And us as two New Yorkers now were oh wow, there's no one here. What a dead town, what a ghost town. LOL. And then the last night we walked back through Trastevere, which is sort of more of a nightlife hub. And it was the last night, so I think it was partially people were kind of coming back from their emperor-dictated holiday, because that's literally what August is. It's literally Augustus was we're all going to go to the beach in August, and they still do it. Which, what?
Homeboy Augustus.
Yeah, I know. But there are a lot more people out there, so I wasn't sure if we were just walking through the wrong areas. But yeah, it was pretty quiet, and a lot of the restaurants were closed, which was fine. We still ate some good pasta, and gelato, and tiramisu, and lots of cheese plates.
Sounds Italian.
Stuff. Yeah. Highly recommend. It was hot and sweaty, but then it cooled off the past 2 days, and now I'm back in New York where it is incredibly hot, so I'm missing it. And yeah, I had a great time. I got to geek out over all the Roman stuff. I'd wished that I had my God of Go inspired augmented reality thing to tell me more about it.
Yeah.
Can't believe no one has done that yet, but
boy,
whatever.
This is the Colosseum. People fought here.
That's exactly what I want. No, but it was really nice because I kept my phone turned off most of the time, and it was really nice to kind of be unplugged, too. Although I missed my video games. Not really. I was busy eating. Anyway, now I'm having to adjust to my, like, normal life where I eat a lot less ice cream and I have to go to work.
Ugh, what a bummer.
Yeah. It's
Where's
hard.
our Emperor Decreed holiday?
Seriously. Bring back emperors so that I could have a month off to go to the beach.
Only emperors that declare holidays, though. They can come in, be emperor, declare a holiday, and stop being emperor.
That's pretty much all I need. So yeah, hit us up with an email or a comment or whatever if you want Rome recommendations, because I got them.
Uh-huh.
And I guess that's all I have to say about it. I don't know. It's a lovely vacation. It's good to be back at the Talk This Grind. Not that Talk This is a grind.
Arrivederci.
Nobody says that.
Mamma mia.
Way to embarrass yourself.
Oh man, darn, I didn't take Italian. You're right. I'm so embarrassed.
You know, the one other thing I will say about Rome is, like, we kind of went, and you know when you go to cities and, like, you're seeing museums and stuff, and there's kind of, like, the historic district, right?
Yes.
But then you leave the historic district and there's, like, a city.
Yes.
Rome is not like that.
Yes.
You're just walking around, it's like, there's ruins over there. And also, even though I'm sure there are buildings that have been built more recently than this, nothing looks like it's newer than, like, 100 years old.
Yeah. I think a lot of Europe is kind of like that.
I hear that Paris and London and Edinburgh are not like that.
I guess. Like, I went to Paris a while ago, and it's not like New York, you know? Like, I guess, like, Paris was more modern, I think, than some of the Spanish cities they went to, but even then, like, it's modern, but, like, modeled to look older, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't feel like the urban centers that we have in the U.S., I guess. Just because, like, there is old buildings, even if you put them around with newer buildings, where in the U.S., like, how old are buildings, you know? Not, like, 300 years old at most. So.
Well, it's good to be back in New York, even though everything is more expensive here than it was when I was on vacation. So, that's been the very depressing end to my generally refreshing and lovely off-topic corner.
Beep, beep.
What's that, Emma?
It's time for the traffic report. Toot toot.
Am I still? I'm sorry. I have to, like, process that for a minute.
I could do the traffic report. I've been hooked online for longer than you have been. So even while Madelyn and I were doing our various traveling, Madelyn abroad and me just with all my boxes in a car.
You're abroad too.
That's mean.
Is that mean?
I don't know. I don't think broad is very, I guess it depends how you say it. I don't know.
Anyway, I just totally derailed the traffic. Sorry. Back in the lane. Go on, Emma.
We've still been keeping up with the blog pretty much as scheduled, except for our split screen content. In terms of that, I took over the split screen, where we normally watch Boys Over Flowers and My Hero Academia. Instead talked about the shows I'm watching, and to keep it on brand, I talked about the K-drama and anime I'm watching, and since I'm not watching any K-drama, I talked about the anime I'm watching. So that's up there, and you can check it out. I think it's fun and funny, so there you go.
I felt fully attacked by it. I was like, even though we didn't have one where I got roasted, I still, like, I was reading it, I was waiting for my flight, and I was reading it, and I was like, that's it, you know? Like, I angry reacted it on Facebook, and then I was
I know, I saw that.
And then I was like, what if something happens to me on the flight? And the last thing I did was I angry reacted. Split screen.
To be fair, I was pretty mean. Sure, I'm always pretty mean to her.
And you were like, oh, there's going to be nothing next week, and that was a lie.
But to Madelyn's credit, yeah, she had clickbait boyfriends up on schedule where Josh finished Ven's story and jumped right into Tara's story, which meant that in my status I could make as many Tara puns as I wanted to, because I find them funny. So both those are up. They're funny also. And
Thanks.
Instead of a split screen last Monday, we had a buzz this, where Madelyn found out which assassin she was from the Assassin's Creed series in celebration of our episode. Am I missing anything?
Yeah, you're missing your Octopath Traveler blog.
Oh, right. Yes, I also wrote the 12 thoughts in 15 hours because I was too lazy to come up with more.
I just have to say, from the Talk This NYC HQ, there was a voice of dissent about that choice. I won't say who it was, but someone in the household was like a little bit upset that it had broken from the format of X thoughts in X hours and instead changed to X thoughts in Y hours.
Well, I wanted to be honest about the amount of time it took me to finish the prologues, but I didn't want to draw another comic, and so to make it even, I just got rid of 2 more, too, because I felt like those 2 were sort of repeating themselves anyway. So it ended up in 12 thoughts in 15 hours.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying there was a reader at the Talk This NYC HQ who was a little bit upset about it.
But in exchange, those 12 thoughts got 4 hand-drawn comics by yours truly, illustrating some of my favorite parts of the game that don't exist.
They were great comics. I thought they were really funny.
Thank you. I really liked the first one. In case you didn't know, my protagonist is Therian. He's a thief boy. He steals things. He has a tragic past in which he was betrayed by somebody he really cared about. And so his entire first chapter really stresses the fact that he does not want to work with anybody and doesn't trust anybody and doesn't like anybody. And then what does he do? He goes around the world and picks up some teammates. Because, why not?
That's what it does.
But yeah, there's that. There's been nothing on the YouTube, even though there should have been, because, like I said, I've been moving in and out, and it's a little bit more overwhelming than I was expecting it to be. But coming soon, it's about a fourth of the way done, is episode 1 of The Adventures of Noodletus. I'm very proud of it. I made the opening sequence to Happy Noodle versus Sad Noodle.
Yes!
And I think it's pretty good. So look forward to that. I did all the voices myself because I was doing it. And I think they sounded pretty good. We'll see. I took a voice acting class for a semester, so clearly I'm a professional.
I'm so hype about this.
And I think I'm going to make like a mini play this in the beginning of September, just to make up for the fact that there wasn't one this month, which will be a case study for Octopath Traveler as a whole, sort of like I complained about it in the blog, but sort of summarizing the good and bad things about it using its narrative and its gameplay so separate, and the disparate emotions that makes me feel. So, look forward to that.
You're obsessed.
And that's it.
Wait. Let me give the standard, amazing Talk This social media spiel. Well, you just heard about all of our amazing content that we've been putting up online. Did you know about it all? If you did, you're probably already doing some of these things that I'm about to talk about. But if you didn't, you should probably follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all as Talk This Sisters, where you can find links to all the content that we talked about. Did I just say Talk This Sisters? No, that was wrong. I messed
We're just
up.
a mess.
All as Talk This Podcast. On YouTube, we are Talk This Sisters, but on those channels, we are Talk This Podcast, or we are still sisters, but we just don't put it in our handle.
Mm-hmm.
You can find links to all of that content, plus, memes and game thoughts, and I've been sharing a bunch of articles on Facebook because I was making up for the fact that I wasn't going to be here, and hopefully that'll continue. Maybe I'll share that Kiki Slider thing. Been looking for an excuse to do that. You should listen to it. It's really quite something.
I will.
And yeah, so follow us there. And subscribe to us on YouTube, where you can catch the Play This series Emma was talking about, which is our flagship YouTube series, where Emma talks about gameplay as storytelling, featuring, like, recently episodes on ludonarrative dissonance, and on tutorials, and on... What else are they on, Emma? I'm blanking.
Just on... They usually focus on a singular game, or a singular mechanic.
Choice-based games. We talked about that, too. Detroit Become Human. There's lots of great ones. They're really fantastic. You should really go check them out. I think they're amazing. There's also the Long Dormant Flashback Friday series, which I should get back to someday. There's still ones to check out if you want to, see 5-minute snippets of old episodes. We have a lot of episodes now. And there's the Clickbait Boyfriend mini vlogs, of which... in just a couple weeks, they'll be my favorite one of all time. So you really want to subscribe now, just to not miss that content. You should also check out our website, www.talkthispodcast.com, where you can see the blog we talked about, plus all sorts of other good stuff, more about the podcast, the games that are currently in the hat. We just got some requests from our dad for games to put in the hat that I think are good ones, so maybe... But we're trying to winnow it down. But still, send us your suggestions for that. You can send them to us on our contact page on the website, or by emailing us at talktous@talkthispodcast.com, or by sliding into our DMs on any of the aforementioned social media sites. You should also, if you never want to miss an episode of the podcast, consider subscribing. We are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn. Pretty much anywhere podcasts are not sold, you can find us. And if you don't find us, drop us a line, like I just mentioned, and we'll try to get ourselves up on the podcasting service of your choice. While you're there, you might as well rate and review, and tell all your friends about us. We love Talk This. Hopefully you love Talk This. And we just want to talk this to all the people.
Yep.
And that's my spiel. Which brings us to our final segment. The question of the fortnight.
So, our question for the fortnight, for this fortnight, is what, in general, do we want to see more of in games? Got a very broad question this time.
There's an obvious Talk This answer to this.
Local co-op!
I'm glad you got it. I was afraid that I was literally about to do a countdown. I was like, we're going to say it on 3. 1, 2, 3. And I was like afraid you were going to be like...
No, we would love to see more local co-op. I'm always very excited when there's local co-op in games. I play game series specifically for the local co-op sometimes. So, give us more.
Yeah, that's the on-brand answer.
Yeah. I feel like I've said a lot of things before on the podcast. Like, I was like, sports and games seems to be underutilized. Like, fictional cities that you can explore seems to be underutilized. Yeah, those are the two I can think of off the bat. I just like more things than just, like, combat. I wish there were more games, especially, like, big games, that used any mechanic other than just combat.
Or that aren't like... Okay, so here are mine. 1, this is like 2, this is not the spirit of the question, but let's see some more games for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, seriously. Oh my god.
Like, jeez.
Like, why did I... Like, the only reason I bought Octopath Traveler... I mean, I probably would have bought it anyway, but it's like, whoa, look, it's a new game for the Switch that isn't a port or a remaster. Jeez Louise. It's like Supergiant, which is one of my favorite indie creators, was like, Transitor and Bastion are coming to the Switch. I'm like, oh, great. I played those games like 5 years ago. they'd be great on the Switch, but I already played them on my PC.
It's an important thing for video game preservation, so I guess I can't complain that much. But yeah,
I know. It's just hard to get excited when there's nothing new coming to the system. I mean, I'm plenty excited about The World Ends With You port because I love that game, but otherwise I just have found it hard to get excited.
Yeah. So definitely more games for the Nintendo Switch. More games that I can play on my Mac. That's probably too much to ask for. Oh man, I had another good one and I forgot. Let me think. Emma, do you have any more?
You know what? I think that a college game. This is just a random idea I just had earlier today, but a game that's set in college that's sort of like a horror game. You know, where you have your little meter thing that goes down slowly, so you have to balance your workload, or otherwise your mental health meter goes down.
That was dark, and now I'm worried about.
Or your anxiety meter goes up, and you have to keep it from hitting the top, or ghosts appear or something. I don't know. I hadn't gotten that far.
I am concerned about you. Do I think this is a mechanic we can utilize in our Assassin's Creed crossover from last time? Yes. However, are you okay?
Well, unless you thought of your other idea on that worrying note.
No, I did. I did think of my other idea.
What's your other idea?
We can't end on that note. Games that have a story and tell the story.
Yeah.
That aren't you make up the story for yourself, player. What does it all mean?
Yeah.
Explore the world. There's a mystery. We won't explain it. No, just games that tell me a story. Also, more support systems. My favorite part of Fire Emblem.
Oh, right, yeah, for sure.
More systems where I can make my characters talk to each other and say stupid things.
Yeah. You know, I honestly think that's missing from the Persona games. It's I like hanging out with these people, but I want them to hang out with each other, too.
I know.
I wish you could organize, group outings within the Persona games. But...
Well, it's always delightful when you, go out with someone on the weekend and you run into, your teacher or something like that. Yeah. It's oh, this is fun. Who knew that she was good at fishing?
Yeah.
I agree. But then it would turn into, a matchmaker. It'd be Emma. Oh, that's funny that you would suggest that. I feel just a matchmaker thing.
See, but I would matchmake. That's true, I would matchmake them. I'm not particularly interested in dating any of you, but you two would be cute together. Anyway, on that note, I hope that your friends are also in love. Next week, we'll be doing a full episode, which will be approximately the length of this side quest episode.
Oh, God.
That's on Resident Evil and Fortnite. So you can look forward to that. Speaking of games with no
Emma,
stories.
are we going to play Fortnite?
I don't know. My Switch is not hooked up to the internet here, so I don't know if I can get it to work.
You have to
hook it up. I can maybe play it on my phone.
Is there... Maybe I'll... Well, yeah. We're going to try to play Fortnite.
We'll work it out. We'll figure it out.
All the kids are doing it. Can't be that hard.
So find us on Fortnite, listeners.
No, don't.
We'll be the ones who are dead from the start.
Please don't find us. Please stay away from us.
Find us and protect us, listeners.
We don't want any trouble.
Yeah. Do you want to close it off, Alan?
Please have a week where the only people that find you want to protect you.